What's going on, man? What's the word?
Are you dizzy now, man, now that you're a superstar?
It's crazy, man. It's a tight experience. You know, I work my ass off for this moment, man. So just for my grandma to say she's proud of me, man, just to be able to do what I love to do, man, and get the support, get that love.
You mentioned your grandmother. Let's rewind a little bit. Let's rewind to 2003, 2004. You're a teenager and you're thinking about a career in rap and you're freestyling and so forth. When you said your grandmother gave you support, does that mean like when you were rapping where 9 out of 10 people would be saying that's going nowhere, she was saying do your damn thing?
She was saying go to school, and I was saying, man, you know, even though I graduated high school with the 3.7, man, and I was on my way to Michigan State because I was ready to, like, have all the girls, ready to go wild, live on my own, have all the sex in the world.
You probably are right now, though.
Yeah, but, you know, that's not the point. But she, you know, she really wanted me to get an education, and, you know, I kind of feel like, man, I never want to look back on life and be 50, 60 years old wishing I would have, could have, should have did something, you know. So I just really chased my dream, man, did what I wanted to do. And even though I did the opposite of what she wanted me to do, she still always supported me. I spent all her money up on studio sessions all the time. You know, it's great to see it finally paying off. It's great to see, you know, I threw the first pitch at the Tigers game the other day. And, you know, she was real proud of that and just me being so on the news and everywhere. And she's happy, man. So that's tight that she could say she's proud of me. And it makes me feel like I did the right thing by following my heart, man. Like, I feel like that's always the right thing to do.
I can hear your grandmother in you and the fact that you're grounded, you've got a real great foundation. So even though you chose your path subconsciously, she's got her stamp all over you.
Yeah, man, she does. You know, she raised me right. So, yeah, man, it's an exciting process, man, to see the people who I used to ride to school listening to Kanye with, man, listening to Jay-Z, listening to all these people with. And, you know, for my friends to still be with me. I had a show the other night where Kanye and Jay-Z were both there. And to have my friends who we used to ride to school listening to him, man, it was a hell of a moment for me.
Is it overwhelming to get love from those cats?
Man, it's crazy. You know, it's a dream. You know, you got to remember, I got to believe that, man, I'm one of the best in the world, and I'm going to be the best. And I want to, you know, write history books, man. I want to make history. I want to make music people could live to, ride to, smoke to, have sex to, whatever they like to do, cry to. And, you know, that all is a part of being historical, man. I want to be somebody who is remembered for their music, for making quality music. So, you know, it's an exciting thing for the people who I looked up to, who I think make quality music, to look at me and be like, you're making quality music and we endorse you and we love you, you know. That's like all I could ever ask for, man.
The show's over. Jigga comes up to you. What does he say to you?
He said, congratulations, young. And that's pretty much all he says. And it's the moment. You know what I'm saying?
But you know what? On the flip, you can teach those cats something, too. I mean, you're a lot younger than they are. You're plugged in, man. I mean, I really like the fact that you're doing a story about yourself and your music. It conveys, and it conveys from a 20-something perspective. Jigga and Kanye ain't in their 20s.
Yeah, that's true, man, you know, and I saw them walk in, and they were wearing snapbacks, you know, and that's one of the things I'm famous for is wearing snapbacks. So I was looking at them like, wow, that's crazy. You know, not saying they got that from me, but just saying that, you know, I really did help usher in the snapback movement back in, me and a lot of other people, and it's tight to see them, you know what I'm saying, doing it in their own way, and, you know, letting me know that, hey, man, what you're doing is pretty fresh, like, keep going, so. It's tight, man. It's real tight.
Source Magazine says that your style, you really enjoy 10 Deep, Billionaire Boys Clubs, and Bape?
Yeah, I enjoy all that, man. I just enjoy streetwear that looks good, that feels good. You know, whatever. It doesn't necessarily have to be said big clothing lines like Billionaire Boys Club or Louis Vuitton or Bape or 10 Deep. It could be a no-name backyard company just as long as it makes me feel good. When you put your clothes on, you look in the mirror and know you're just fresh, man. That's what it's all about.
Hey, I'm real curious. If you don't mind, I want to kind of go through your life just a little bit. When you're 13, 14, and 15, at what point did you say, I want to rap, and you started just getting stupid?
Yeah, man. When I was 13, 14, 15, I was strictly rapping for the girls, man. And of course, I loved it. I was really getting into, you know, my favorite CDs at that time. I was really into, like, All Eyes on Me, Pac, and Biggie, Ready to Die, and Doggy Style, Snoop Dogg. I was really getting into, those records from back then and revisiting them. And I just wanted to be a rapper. Honestly, man, in the 5th grade when my teacher asked everybody what they wanted to be, and people were saying firemen and astronauts and this and that, I was like, I want to be a rapper. And I said, I wanted to be a rapper signed to Def Jam. I'm signed to Def Jam. But, and my teacher looked at me and shook her head like, oh, no. And it's ironic that the same teacher wants me to come back and speak at the school now. But I'm not saying that to brag. I'm saying, though, man, whenever you do what you love to do, always follow your heart, man. You always end up in the best place. And even if you fail at it, man, at least you fail at doing something you love to do.
That'll be a great story for you when you go back, for sure. Then you get to be 17 years old. It's pretty cool. You're doing battles over at 102.7 in Detroit, the radio station, and you're getting in there on the regular. And I really admire this. Not only did you meet Kanye West and rap in front of him and kill it and kill it and kill it, but also in your back pocket, you had a demo tape. You were ready to do the damn thing.
Yeah, man, I was selling my mixtape around high school. I don't know what it was. I always felt like I had to have music product. Even before anything, I always felt like it was a job way before it was a job. Like it was my job to supply my high school with like my music, or to be on a radio station every Friday night rapping on radio, on air. And I don't know why. Of course it all makes sense now. I guess, God had that plan for me. But, I did that radio show for like a year straight where we would battle MCs, get to go on air and rap a couple verses over the air every week. And that's how I got a great relationship with the station. So my junior year going to senior year in high school, of course I was a telemarketer cashing my like $120 check. It was one of the wackest jobs ever. And shout out to all the telemarketers because that job sucks. And I got the call. I got the call from my best friend like, yo, man, you listening to the radio? I'm like, no, I'm in the bank. What's up? He's like, man, Kanye's down there at the station playing his new album. Yo, man, if you go down there and rap for him, he'll probably sign you, bro. And I'm telling him, like, man, that sounds stupid as hell. And then I thought about it for like 10 seconds, and I was like, oh, man, it sounds amazing. This is a great idea. So I walked out of the bank without cashing my check, smashed home to get my CD that I haven't sung around high school. Luckily, one of my friends gave me $20 to drive down there. So I got down to the radio station, and since I've been doing that show there, they let me right in. And this was a Saturday, and I did that radio show every Friday. So I went in there and said, yo, I forgot my phone last night. Can I go back and get it? And they were like, sure, go ahead. So I snuck back in there. Then I went in the back where I knew Kanye would probably be at. And I got past his security guard. I got past his road manager. I guess they thought I worked there, and I didn't. And I shook his hand, told him, yo, man, you're my favorite rapper.
Was he really your favorite rapper?
Yeah, man.
Okay.
He was honestly was like my idol at the time. Like that, he was probably one of the only people I really connected with. Like his first album, College Dropout. The outro to that really kept me going a lot of nights. When I wanted to give up, it was an honor, a straight honor to meet him. And then he started walking away because he was in a hurry, and then I had to catch him again. So I had to run after him and catch him. And then right before his bodyguard slammed me, I was like, "Yo, man, can I rap for you real quick?" He was like, man, I don't have time. I got to go. I'm like, please, man, you like one of my heroes, bro. Like, I ride to school listening to you, this and this and that. He's like, all right, man, you got to rap while we're walking out the station. You got 16 bars, which is like the equivalent of a song. I mean, the equivalent of a verse to a song. So he's like, go. So I start rapping, and as soon as we get to the entrance of the exit of the radio station, he stops and just starts looking at me and starts bobbing his head. And is just really feeling it, I could tell. So I ended up rapping for like 10 minutes straight.
Damn.
16 bars ended up turning like 10 minutes straight. He was impressed. He took my CD, and that's how the initial contact came about, man.
Were you really, really scared at the very beginning of your rap?
Yes, man. I couldn't. My heartbeat was probably like, it was like jumping out of my chest, man. I couldn't even like control it. I never met a celebrity either. Like, picture meeting probably like one of the first celebrities you've ever met, people you consider a celebrity. And on top of that, it's like your favorite one, like one of your idols.
Can you even describe how you felt?
Man, I was on top of the world. It was like a big crowd of people crowded around everybody who worked at the station. Everybody was clapping. He was happy. The story goes on and on, but that one moment right there just felt crazy, man. I knew that was one of my chances to live the life that I always wanted to live and, to be extraordinary and not ordinary. And, he saw the potential in me, man. And That was a crazy moment, man. I'll never forget it. I remember like it happened this morning.
That was 2005, but he didn't sign you until 2007 to Good Music, right?
Yeah, he didn't sign me till 2000, the end of 2007. Actually, it took a very long time. I graduated high school. Like I said, I gave up all my scholarships to Michigan State. I gave up everything. Like I said, I was ready to live on my own, and I gave it all up just for the possibility before he even said he really wanted to sign me, before we had paperwork. You know, I just was going off the strength of a faith and a dream, man. And, you know, I put out mixtapes. I built my buzz up through the streets. You know, I eventually signed to him. And it took a long time, man. You know, that's the meaning of Finally Famous.
I think it also adds to your humility. You know, you're a humble cat, and we can feel that you're talking to you, but also in your music, and even in the song title, Finally Famous. It's like, yo, man, I'm not all that. I grinded, I worked, I tried, I got lucky on a couple of fronts, and here I am, damn it.
Yeah, man, that's exactly right. And I want it to be relatable to everybody, man, who's out there grinding, chasing their dreams, doing what they want to do. So, you know, I really feel like this album could be a soundtrack to a lot of people's lives, and there's definitely room to grow from the album. So I'm excited to work on the second one and the third one and the one after that, man. So
tell us a little bit more about your mixtapes. You had the skills. Kanye liked you. You were unsigned, but, you know, Finally Famous, you wanted to do the damn thing on a mixtape perspective as well. You did 3 of them. What was your grind?
Well, the first mixtape, I lied and said I was signing Kanye when I really wasn't. I did it just to get the buzz and, you know, get the blogs, like, involved on the first mixtape. And that was Finally Famous Volume 1, and that did his job. And then, you know, Kanye was seeing that grind, and I guess that's when he presented the paperwork and really signed me to Good Music, and he really took me under his wing. The second mixtape I put out in 2008 or 2009, either one, which was called You Know Big Sean, and that was with my homie Mick Boogie. And that one was a real big mixtape that got me a lot of buzz. That's when I started doing shows, started getting paid like $500 to do shows, like all over the country.
I'll give you $500 to do a show.
Yeah, yeah, right. And I was performing a lot with Mike Posner. On that mixtape, I had a song on there called Super Duper, where I created a rhyme scheme where I was basically describing a word with another word. So Drake really was the one who made it more popular after I did it in, like, that song Forever with Eminem, Lil Wayne. It's kind of like the one word describing another one. Like, I just give them line after line after line after line, barcode, you know, ball, chemo. And Drake borrowed that and used it on Forever. But then Drake gave me credit for it later on in the interview. Like, man, I got that from Big Sean. You know, the whole industry is taking off with that rhyme scheme, but I got it from Big Sean, and I feel like a lot of people got it from Big Sean. So that gave me a lot more of attention. And then, you know, from that attention, I created another mixtape, Finally Famous Volume 3, and that was the one with Don Cannon, and that was the one that kind of exploded my buzz, and that's when I started doing, like, sold-out shows around the country. You know, it started becoming like a cult following. I saw people dressing like me. I saw people using my slang. And then, of course, mixed with different looks, just like being around Kanye, being on all those Good Friday songs, being on the BET Cypher and Shining, and just, you know, all the things mixed up one another together, you know, got my label, Def Jam, really excited and was like, yo, we have to put your album out. And it's crazy because before I would ask them, yo, when is my album coming out? And they would be like, oh, we don't know, you know. And then it was kind of like all of a sudden they were pushing me and pressing me to finish my album to come out with it. And it's just crazy, man. It's just crazy how everything works out. So if there's one thing I want to be remembered for, man, is that I did what I love to do. I followed my heart. And for all the people who were calling me stupid, all the people who said I was throwing my life away, to see them eat their words, man, is the best feeling ever.
And the album dropping on Tuesday, you know, you get hit on different levels, different places, you know. Like you said, drink, live, ride, smoke, sex too. That's all good. But then there's some stupid-ass fun songs. And then there's some songs that are going to challenge your heart and your mind for no apparent reason. Then there's going to be some collabos. And then Kanye gets his hands dirty on a production piece. Forget about it. Yeah, man, yeah. So it's a great event, man. And I'm excited. I appreciate you showing so much love, man, and being so into it. Being such a real G, man. Oh, thank you. Thank you very much.
For real. You know, it's crazy how one little thing can lead to another little thing that leads to a very big thing, man. So, you know, my advice is that whatever you're doing, what you love to do, man, just make sure you can do all you can because you never know what little thing could lead to a big thing.